Welcome to today's webinars, and it's great to see many so many of you joining to learn about FI Europe Connect 2020 and how you can get involved in benefits for you and your company. So last week, we announced the postponement of the in-person event and the transition to a fully virtual event. So the trade show will return in 2021 in Messe Frankfurt in Germany. So this was a difficult decision, but the right one, and that we made in consultation with key partners and industry stakeholders. So the health and safety risk, as well as ongoing travel restrictions, would have not allowed us to ensure the same level of participation and high quality in-person experience in Frankfurt this year. So once again, we thank you for your patience, your trust and partnership. So 2020 has brought with it several new challenges for the food and beverage industry, from concerns about global food safety and security, trends and supply chains, as well as changes in ingredient sourcing, have made it more important than ever for ingredient suppliers and buyers to connect with their peers in the food and beverage industry. So responding to the need to connect and collaborate, we're very excited to present you with FI Europe Connect, a virtual event designed to give you access to the global food and beverage ingredients industry, tools and collaboration opportunities you require to meet your business objectives. So taking place from the 23rd of November until the 4th of December 2020, the virtual event will allow you and your company to stay updated in food and beverage industry trends through a rich content program, as well as showcase your innovation, products and solutions, and connect with key buyers and partners. Before I continue, just want to give you a couple housekeeping notes. So all participants are muted, but please send us your questions through the chat box. So in the next 30 minutes or so, we will show you the key features of FI Europe Connect and how you can make the most of this virtual experience. We will then follow with a brief introduction of the exhibitor participation options. With no further ado, I will now hand over to Linda. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much, Julian, for the intro there. So I'm from Grip, which is the platform that is the technology that will be running the event. And so what I'll do is I'll share my screen and I'll make sure to share with you the best ways to run through the event itself. Areas that I'm going to be covering today is how to manage your availability. So that's when you are, networking with your peers, they'll be able to select the time that you're available to network, and actually how to go about making the most out of the networking elements, and how to access your exhibitor portal, which is a tool that helps to maximize the productivity of your team members. And finally, finishing off with how to watch content and how to manage the content area of the platform. So I'm going to hop straight into it. So, when you first activate your account, you'll be met with this homepage. So, it's really important. The first couple of things you do are two things. One is updating your profile so that when users are networking with you, they're not just met with a blank picture and not information. So we want to engage and make sure that we drive as high of a response when you send out the meeting requests by updating your profile. Second is managing your availability. So within the same area, you'll be able to see edit profile, and then just under that, manage my availability. So this area is when you mark yourself as available or unavailable by either selecting whole day as available or unavailable, but also going ahead and selecting individual slots if you wanted to, of course, make that available or unavailable. So make sure that you amend your times, and when you're happy with it, just scroll down and you can go ahead and click close. And from here, what you'll then be able to do is, as you can see, it updates automatically. So from here, now I want to show you the networking elements of the platform. So there's a variety of different tabs on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click into the first one called Recommended for You. And this is when this is completely powered by AI. So our AI uses two things to determine the best profiles for you that to be recommended for you to interact with. So two things. One is the profile data. So, you'll remember that I've mentioned, please fill out your profile. That's the first thing that you do when you log into the platform, which of course helps our AI technology match you with users based on your profile objectives. And second, our AI uses skip and show interest, which is what we call the behavioral data of when you go ahead, show interest in profiles or skip on certain profiles. As you can see here, immediately when I take an action of skipping or expressing interest, I will be prompted to set up notifications for the latest news and updates. We really recommend that you would allow this, so then you will not miss any important things as meetings and etc. So interaction that will be taking place across the platform. So go ahead and click allow, but also make sure that your browser would allow these notifications to be shown in the first place as well. So from here, you'll be able to, as I mentioned, skip on show interest on certain profiles. And it's really important that you will continue to do that, because the more you interact, the better our AI algorithm will then recommend the next set of interactions from here. So there's a couple of different buttons that you can already, or actions that you can take, as well as showing interest and skip. One is requesting a meeting from with a user directly from here. So as you click into a profile, you'll be able to see, of course, an overview of that user profile and what company they are connected to. But also on the right hand side, you'll see a box here for you to go ahead and book the meeting, either for yourself or any of the team members that you're connected with. So that's quite an important area also to notice, is that because you are connected with your colleagues within the company, you're able to book a meeting either for yourself with that user, Linda, or go ahead and book a meeting on behalf of your colleagues. So potentially you feel that your colleague Julian or Martin will be more suited to meet with Linda, then you go ahead and select those colleagues. So give it a second, and what happens now is that both of the availability calendars will then be pulled through, so that when you are selecting the date and time to meet for your colleague, it will only show the times that they are available to meet him. So again, to going back to why you need to update your calendar, this is a really important reason why, so that the user will only be able to see the times that you are available to book a meeting with. So I am going to book a meeting, actually, just to make sure that I don't book any meetings on behalf of exhibitors and things like that. I'm going to book a meeting with two colleagues here. So I'll book a meeting between Karina and Julian. So select time and date that you're happy with, and please make sure you add in a personal message. So the more personalized, the better. As you can see, you get a much higher acceptance rate if you personalize the meeting message. So I'm going to go ahead and click send now, and give it a second, and then the meeting request will be sent here. Another amazing feature on the platform is that you have the ability to invite further colleagues that are in the platform to the meeting itself. So as you can see, there's a add invitee button here. I can go ahead and select or find a colleague that is already on the platform. So I'm going to go ahead and find Angelique as a colleague that I want to add into this meeting, but you can go and select multiple people to invite in the first instance here. And the meeting room will hold up to a maximum of 50 attendees. So as you're the requester, you can request meetings for up to 49 other users here. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Angelique to this meeting, and give it a second to load. As you can see, Angelique is now part of the meeting request here. So you're free to go ahead and add further attendees as you would like. Otherwise, once you're happy with this, you'll now actually be able to find this within your personal calendar. So I'm just going to hop straight into my schedule, which is also a button on the side here. And so within my schedule, or within your schedule, you'll be able to see not only the sessions that you have bookmarked to watch, but also the meetings that you have within your diary as well. From here, you can either reschedule or cancel that meeting that has been booked, and also view the profiles of the users or the colleagues that you have within the meeting invite itself. So I'm going to go back into the networking element. So I've just, as a quick recap, gone through the networking from recommended for you, which is powered by AI, how to invite others and book a meeting for them. Second, now I'm going to show you how to manually search through a list of different users that you want to potentially you identify previously, or you want to just manually search through a list of users here. So I'm going to go into the exhibitor list. So there's a couple of different lists that we have on the left-hand side here. So one is you can search through a list of exhibitors, which you'll be able to see, all of the exhibitors participating within the event itself. But also another important element is to filter by the different objectives. As you can see, the different filters here to really isolate the specific profiles that are based on the filters here. So it's actually a much greater usage than just sifting through a manual list of names, which of course you can do here as well, the name, company name, but also by the business sector, which another great filter here is that you'll be able to see and select those on the top searches or top filters, the most common filters that have these on their profiles, but also you can do it by alphabetically as well. So you have the option of filtering by these two methods here. So next is I'm going to show you again another list that we have, which is the product list. So you can see a whole list of products that have been uploaded within the event itself. And again, you'll be able to filter via the filter functions here as well, just to kind of just the surface the most relevant profiles that are dedicated for you. So next we have managing your own diary, which I have shown very briefly, but again, it's important for just please make sure that you're on top of all your meetings, and you can kind of review the meetings and the pending meetings that are still waiting for responses within your calendar here. So of course, you'll get meeting reminders via email as to 10 minutes before the meeting starts, so you will get those reminders through the email as well. And if you have the web notifications enabled, which was what I've just shown previously, you'll be able to, when you have the platform open, you'll have a little notification to remind you of those meetings as well. So that is the My Schedule area. I'm going to go back to My Connections. So this is an area where users have expressed interested in you, and when you have expressed interest back in those profiles. So My Connections is an area where two users have expressed mutual interest, and then you become a connection. So you have one additional functionality here versus what you have when you haven't connected, which is the chat box. So for the chat here, it's great because you'll be able to have a discussion or have a conversation with a specific profile or with a specific user, potentially before you actually have the meeting itself. So this just gives you an area of greater flexibility to communicate before or even after a meeting, the one-to-one virtual meetings that you'll be having. And we encourage, if you're looking to share personal details or LinkedIn and things like that, please do go ahead and share it within the chat box here. So I'm going to run through very quickly just for profiles that you have either skipped or expressed interest, which is basically when you have bookmarked yourself. So you can see here the profiles I have expressed interest in. So this is kind of an area that I'm just waiting for the other user to express interest in me, in which case we form a connection. My skip list is when I have skipped on a certain user, but maybe I want to go back and unskip on that profile a little bit later. So I want to unskip that. Once you have unskipped on that profile, they will then come back to recommended for you. So then they'll be there for you to go ahead and express interest, request the meeting from there. So that's the networking, the one-to-one networking elements. Now I want to move into the Exhibitor Team Portal. So as a quick overview of the Team Portal, it is the area where you'll manage the productivity of all of your reps that have that basically are within the platform itself. So the first tab that it lands on is the Meetings tab. And if I scroll down, you'll be able to see all of the meetings scheduled, pending, awaiting response, or declined. Of course, when you click on it, you will be able to filter those meetings. You'll also be able to see the team members within your team itself, and you can also filter by the different interaction or the engagement by per team member. So it just helps you to keep track of the activities of the team members as well. So if I go back into the meetings area, there's also a button called Create Meeting. So you go ahead at the same time, which I've shown previously, of how you can book a meeting, select the representative, or a colleague that you want to book a meeting for, and put in the guest here as well. So I'm just going to type in a name here. So Julian, again, the diaries and availability diaries will then be pulled through for you to go ahead and request the meeting. And you can see very clearly acting on behalf of Tatiana as the meeting that you're looking to book for. Next is the inbound lead section. So this area is an area that is basically for users to come through, has been either viewed, has an interest, has a connection, has a meeting with either yourself or any of your reps within the platform. So it's a dynamic list. So depending on the user itself. So for me, you know, I am acting as Karina here. If I show interest, skip on those profiles, they will of course disappear from this list, but it will be different to what your colleagues would be experiencing because they haven't, you know, taken actions on that. So it's a dynamic list, and depending on the individual actions here, it will reflect your own actions that have been that you have expressed interest or skip or request the meeting. So if you scroll down the list, you'll be able to see who's connected, who has interested. So really why that lead is that lead and what qualifies them as that lead. So you can scroll through and really help to start clearing your inbound lead list here. Event would you know, replicating that in-person event experience is when a user stops by your stands and they want to you know, they want to share their information or they drop their inquiry. So when they go ahead and, you know, send a chat to a company, they will appear in this area here, and any one of your reps will be able to go back and send a message back directly to that user. So as you can see, you are replying as the FI Global team. So any message you send back will be reflected on the company level. And I'll just show you very quickly where that button is on the exhibitor list. So as an example here, if I go back to FI Global. So as you can see here, message FI Global team. So if I were to say hello, if I just send them a quick message here, if I go to the profile now, there we go to Teams, company chat, as you can see here. So well, ideally, it won't be your own team members that will be messaging the company, but yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate that point here. So anyone that sends a chat to the company, it will be collated under the company chat area. So next is the contacts. So the contacts is all of the mutual connections that have been made on a company level, and you'll be able to see really clearly who those contacts are and where they have come from and what that status of that contact is. So I'm going to hop into export because this is, of course, a really important area that you'll be able to keep track of the different users that have and the list that you'll be able to export yourselves. So one is the ability to export meetings. So so all of the accepted meetings at the company level, you'll be able to export that. But again, very top line details that you'll be able to export here. Second is the exporting of contacts. So because of GDPR reasons, we will not be, well, when you generate the CSV file here, it will be just top line basic information of the user. So next we have company profile. So any of your reps will be able to amend the company profile, and we really recommend that will be one of the first things you do as well as updating your own profile, is to go into the company tabs and make sure that the company profile is updated accordingly. And finally, within this portal is an area for you to view the products that you have uploaded, and make sure that you're happy with it. So you can click into the product and see the product overall, make sure that you're happy with the profile here. And I'm going to go back, and if you looking, and there's a couple of other buttons here. So you can also edit the product as well, or delete. So if you go into editing a product, you can amend any details that you see fit from here. Right. So I'm going to go back, and a couple of final items I want to show you is how you can manage and watch the sessions as the event goes on. So You will be able to find a whole list of agendas via the event agenda button here. So you can click in that and you can scroll through by day. Of course, you can segment that by the date, the track, but also the location of the session. So to watch a session, you must add it to your calendar. And what I mean by that is either clicking on the icon, add to schedule here, or you can click into the session itself and add this to your schedule. So this is something really important. Something to remember is please add it to your schedule before you watch it. But of course, when you click into the session, it will prompt you to add it to your schedule before viewing the session. So, and once you have added the session to your calendar, you will be able to, again, manage it via My Schedule. So here we've got already a session that I have added to my calendar, in addition to the meeting that I will also be looking forward to participating at the scheduled time. So, to finalize on this, you'll be able to manage everything that you have bookmarked in terms of meetings and schedules within your own schedule here. So that brings us as a summary to the end of the demo, and hopefully you found it useful. And now I will pass you back to Alex, which will discuss the exhibitor options within Connect.
Hello, thank you very much for that. I'm going to just run through all of the different exhibitor packages that we have in our system. So obviously to take full advantage of these great opportunities. If we go to the next slide, we'll basically see these are the three main packages that we have on offer. They're just literally known as Basic, Pro, and Premium. The main differences between each one are based upon what you are looking for, what do you want to get out of the system. You'll see that they all obviously have the main services there on the left. For every package has top 8 customers, profiles are the same, but the pending meeting request, this is one of the most important elements. That's something that's different between the Basic, the Pro, and the Premium. Each rep basically gets 50 meeting requests, which is plenty of opportunities. But of course, if you need to your sales team to get more of them, then obviously we recommend taking the Pro package, and then the Premium gets you 200. That will be ample enough. Visible inbound leads. We expect this is obviously customers looking for your company. For the Basic package, you've got 250 you can receive as a company, and then the Pro gives you 500 inbound leads, and of course the Premium gives you unlimited. So you need to just obviously calculate how many inbound leads you would normally want to expect at an exhibition, and what is going to be over the 2 weeks. So it's quite a long period, and once you hit your limit, it does stop the inbound leads. So you need to consider maybe between the 250 to 500, or just keep it all open so it's unlimited. Product display, again, the Basic gives you 2 products and 2 collateral products as a download that's attached to your profile at the very beginning. I obviously know some companies have more than 2 products to display, but so we're recommending those who take the Basic to really highlight the 2 most important products they want to push at the virtual event, and maybe on the company description they can highlight the company in large. But of course, if you take the Pro package, you get 10 products to display, and this really widens your scope and the appeal to the visitors, because each product will be obviously attracting a different type of customer who's inquired. Plus you get the advantage of putting video embedded on there as well as a URL, and then of course the Premium gets you up to 50 products to display, which is really good if you want to portray your company at scale. We go to the next slide. These additional just visibility boosters, this is going to help you. You saw on the presentation there was the exhibitor listing, there was the virtual product listing. If you want to be listed as the first company that appears in that listing, then this is an opportunity. Your company gets prioritized at the top, and they're limited as well. So obviously the virtual exhibitor list is just 5, and the product listing is just 10 available. And of course there's a sidebar promotion, which is an advertising opportunity, so your logo and brand is always present on the website. We go to the next slide. These ones are good as well. These are the exhibitor showcase. So if you want to be involved with the agendas and the programs and the education at the event, which is really important part of why we run these shows, the content is going to be really attractive for visitors. So to be part of that, this is an opportunity to either have a pre-recorded session, and we will market that for you, and as well you'll be in the agenda at certain slots and times. So you've got the basic package there, which is 30 minutes for 250, 2,500, and then there's a 60-minute one as well, where you can actually get a little bit more in-depth interviews and editorial content there, and you'll be spotlighted as well in as a participant in our marketing campaigns to all the visitors. Go to the next slide. And then last we were highlighted here is a customer promotion email. This is an opportunity for you to email our database and really sort of generate immediate leads as well for yourselves. And that can start from right now and can culminate in the virtual event itself. But yeah, of course, it's a really good opportunity, and it's part of our wider digital offerings. We have quite a lot more opportunities. I only wanted to highlight 4 of them here today just to keep it a little bit focused. But we do have an extensive amount of digital opportunities and webinars where you can reach a really wide audience, not just during the virtual event, but actually all year round as well. Yeah, okay, and that's it from in terms of the various promotional opportunities.